just one quick, I took the measurements back from our markings that we made, and the passenger side, we were shooting for 2.5. We got 2.512, so we're plus 12,000. So that's not too bad. And on the passenger side, we were shooting for 2.625 or 5/8, and we got 2.607. So a little bit off over there too. But overall, you know, within a few thou, just using the chopper. And if you really wanted to, I mean, you could measure that beforehand and kind of get an idea of what you're going to do, and then take it over to, because these end caps, I flattened them on the belt sander just to make sure they're nice and flat, which the inside tubes were not. But you know, I can't pick up the axle and take it to the belt sander. Just pre-measurements and kind of got yourself better ballpark if you just went along on the big side to begin with. But close enough. We're easily, you know, within an eighth, easily within it. They said they ballpark it 1/8 of an inch from the axle Mosier does. So, you know, we're beyond that. We're smaller than a 1/16 of an inch away, which is pretty good. So, oh, hey YouTube universe, you guys watch Rogan or listen to Rogan? And he's always on this thing where he's talking about OJ. And he's like, hey, Instagram universe or Twitter, whatever OJ's doing. It sounds funny. It's stuck in my head. Like, hey, YouTube universe. So we got our, you know, Ford, say what you will about their blue oval. Ford makes the nicest quality parts. They really do. And their stuff is always just really top notch. That's why, you know, their chassis are so good. But like, they sent these bearings out, or like the sills, I'm sorry. They're already lubed on the inside. I mean, that's some next level shit, man. And got the bearings, real bearings. So, jigs, gear oil, and some Redline additive. Those are the same stuff that I had in the axle last time I did all this. And I also called Mosier. Just because they're the ones that make the axles, and I figure why not just go directly to the people that do the stuff. So I called them up this morning and I gave them the specs, which I showed you last night, which like we just barely missed our mark by maybe a few tenths of a thousandths of an inch. That's not bad, considering, and that shows that this is a pretty accurate way of measuring how much you actually took out, because you can put your lines and make your cuts, but doing those little divots and checking with your calipers, I think does a really good job of getting the before and after, so you actually know. If you want to be like super accurate, you could probably do it like 180 degrees off, and then you can check both sides, and you could do it every 90 degrees and check for run out. But so we called those guys up, and super nice, real helpful. Yes, so this, I think I paid $400 for this axle. You know, my good buddy, Mr. Matt Happel, gives you the answers, you know, he really does. And he'll say like, just buy an Explorer axle. You can pick them up for like a couple $100, and it's got the 31 spline, and then you just find the other, and you just shorten it, and all that makes sense. But I tried to be lazy, like I've spoke about at length, and ended up $400 for the axle. It was a good deal. Then I had to buy the brackets. I don't know, $50, $100, something like that. Had to replace the ring pinion because it was like I think 347. I want to say something like that, but it was way too high. I did the math with the tires and the 3-speed transmission, so we needed the 315s. They work really good. Really puts you where you want to be if you're going to be on the freeway for any amount of time. And with the 28-inch tires that we have, will work out really well. With the 245s, they're like 26-inch tall tires. A little bit more revs than I'd like to see, but yeah. So ring and pinion, whatever those cost. I think it was like 150 bucks. And now axles, because I had to get custom made axles, and studs, because they don't give you the studs. I mean, I could knock out those ones, but I figure why not get the nice ARP kind of style extended, because I'm probably gonna need a little bit of space. I know that sounds weird, but I got to get these. I bought some iron rims for them, and I think if I use some spacers, they were rubbing on the calipers. I think if I use just a little bit of spacer, I'll get that off there. Then I could have steel wheels on this thing, which would be a nice look. Anyway, 500 bucks, 5 something for the axles to be custom made and shipped. So the axles themselves cost more than the whole unit. Had I bought an Explorer unit and trimmed it down, it probably would have been good. I'm not really sure where those end up at, you know, flange to flange. I think it's a bit on the short side from what I need. I'm good. Right now we're at 60 inches, and I probably could have went narrower a little bit, like maybe now I think it's like 58 inches, and that'd be kind of pushing it. You can see we don't have a lot of space between the ends of the flanges now, so and we're at 60 inches, so it'd be maybe a couple inches closer on either side of our brackets for leaf springs. But yeah, it is what it is. So what I'm going to do is just do another pass. Looked at this weld, and it's pretty decent, but I feel like it won't hurt it any, and I can just put a quick little pass on either side, and I'll just start opposite of where I started last time and just wrap it both sides real quick, and then I think I'll clean up this cover and put a drain plug and maybe even a fill plug in it, because I don't like where the factory one's at. It'd be nice to be able to just get the bottle in there, just dump it in, as opposed to but I'll see, maybe I got a dash 16 or something where I can just get the whole bottle in there, and that'd be sweet. I'll have to check to see where it lands and what it would hit. So but definitely going to put another pass on these axles. We'll do that now. And there you go. So it's not super sexy, but beefy. And this is what this needs, just good and beefy. So there, we got 2 passes on that guy. We'll go ahead and get a bung and get this cover set up to have a bung welded on it. Bung. Need to put a hole there for the bung. Hey, YouTube universe. You big dummies probably thought that these covers were stamped still, because I sure did. And so you can make stainless steel stick to aluminum. It just takes an extreme amount of hard-headedness, because your first clue will be like when it just turns ucky and doesn't want to wet together. But if you push through that initial and really give it some heat and move it around, you can actually do it. And then you have to, once you realize, you get out a magnet and go, wow, smack it off. So yeah, this guy, look everybody, it's aluminium. So that's on there, which is cool. So now we got a drain. I'll wait till we get it up in the car to see if there's a convenient place. I like to have the fill back here. I think if I can get a convenient place. In the front, it's just there's not really a convenient place. The muffler and tubing and stuff runs right into it. But yeah, so anyway. And I got all the RTV off there. Dear God, there was some RTV on there. But yeah, so we're all good to go now. Our cover, that explains why it's not all rusted. Our cover has a drain plug in it, and I'm filthy from taking off all the silicone RTV, but that buttons it up for this quick little bit for this evening, and we'll get the bearings in there and the sills and put this thing is so much lighter. Imagine that, without the pumpkin and the axles in it, this thing is like half the weight. So I think I'm going to throw it up in there and then finish assembling the rest of it in the car, if I can do that, which I think I can. I don't think the gas tank's going to be in the way. Famous last words. But it'll be just easier to do that. We'll get the bearings in then and the sills. And the dude said, like, wow, Mosier, the axle guys, they said like they'll be made tomorrow. So it is Wednesday, so Thursday they'll be made Thursday, and he said you should expect to see them about, this time next week, which should be Wednesday of next week. If they actually do depending on how efficient their packaging is, they'll probably get out. And I like companies like that. That's why they're in business as long as they are, is because you order your product and they make it, they get it out the door, and they give you kind of like a window. They err on, the side of caution, because they'll probably be here earlier next week, probably, if they are able to get them made and shipped before Friday. So that's how good companies do it, like Monkey Fab. So if you guys want to go to Monkey Fab Garage, stuff always ships the same or next day, business day, that is. So yeah, we'll get to it, pick it up next time.